Okay, just walking these girls back. Just dropped these girls here for the very first time, and just share a little story. It's now 2017. Tegan and I got married in 2010. When we got married, I owned 4 cows, and our first purchase when we got back from our honeymoon was 21 dairy cross weaners. Now they weren't much to look at by any stretch of the imagination, but that was our first financial purchase together, and we grew them out and sold them off and got a couple of calves out of some of them, mostly got out of them. But look, that wasn't the world. We didn't make a stack of money by any stretch of the imagination, but it certainly whet the appetite, and we found it a great little way to start. So now, 7 years on, I've grown that herd by basically driving up driveways and knocking on doors and asking people, have you got any land that I could lease or adjust some cattle on? Every time I'd see a paddock with grass in it, I'd drive up the driveway and knock on the door. And you got to keep knocking, you got to keep driving, but doors do open. It's not easy, it does take time, but it depends, if that's what you want to do with your life, well, that's what you do. So we made that decision that somehow, some way, we wanted to go farming. Now, it's just probably in transition, crossing from a hobby to a full-time career. We're very early in the game, certainly not much income coming in and a lot of expenses going out, so you got to watch that. But that's the game we're playing, isn't it? So here we are, and so I've probably got managed to, I'm just having a bit of a count in my head, I suppose I'm about 65 cows now on my own, plus sundries, a few calves here and there, and I've actually just purchased another 53 cows pre-tested in calves with calves on them. So my cow numbers now are starting to head towards about 120, plus a few followers, weaners, etc. So it's a big leap of faith. We've gone to the bank, and fortunately we've mortgaged everything to buy these cows. I've also bought 600 sheep out of Broken Hill, scanned in lamb. So we've put it all on the line. Like, for a while we didn't think we'd get finance, but we've actually got some money. Some of that money the bank has fortunately loaned us unsecured, which is, I thought, rather amazing. But here we are. So we're not full-time farmers, but we're having a crack and we're trying our hardest, and that's what we want to do with our lives. So I'd say the next couple of years are going to be pretty skinny because there's a fair few expenses gone out, and we're just trying to build some cattle numbers. We still don't own our own place, That's the dream. I'm certainly looking at this as trying to get my stock up, so therefore I can go to the bank down the track and prove to them that I've actually got a viable business, that I can repay a loan. That's my theory on this. So it's working, and then also, we've got the whole Cultivate Farms thing hanging there, where if we're in the right position at the right place with the right people, we can actually seek an investor to come on board with us as well. But you got to get your hands dirty. You got to do the hard yards. You got to drive up driveways. Often I hear people having a bit of a sook about how hard it is, and look, I totally agree, it is. But if you don't want to do it, that's okay. Don't do it. Don't do it. But if you want to do it, just find a way to make it work. And for me, it was literally driving up driveways, buying cattle, at times buying cheap cattle, and I don't necessarily recommend that. But I bought some old cows in calf. I got them for not much at all because they were very skinny and battling, and that got me started. Mind you, some of them old cows I didn't pay a lot of money for have had 4 calves for me, and I've actually managed to keep their heifers, so they're good quality old cows. They were just old, and some people consider them done. But I was desperate for an opportunity, so that's the way I had to go. It's worked for me, and now them old cows, I'm actually trading out of those old cows. Unfortunately, actually, the cattle price is very high, so I'm going to get double what I paid for them old girls, at least double what I paid for them old girls, and they've had 4 calves for me. Some of them are heading towards 15 years old now. You talk to a lot of people, and that's the last thing that they would recommend, but look, and I don't recommend it necessarily in every situation, but it's just worked for me, and it's what we had to do. So same again with our sheep. We bought some old sheep, Again, I don't recommend it, but when your budget's tight, you just got to do what you got to do. You take a few risks by doing that.